moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, Tobago, and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Now, for those of you joining us as you take your morning breakfast and your morning meditation, and even those tuning in as you drive on the road, thank you so much for choosing Tobago Updates to start your morning on the right note. My name is Luke James Shrim, and I'm also joined by... I'm also joined by Bianna Brebner, and we are here. We know yesterday we would have seen the effects of the storm, and I'm hoping that everyone is okay, everyone is safe. We know yesterday was a scary day for some, but we are so thankful that Tobago was spared in the midst of it all. Now, I'm going to switch over to News in 90 Seconds with Bianna Brebner.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Luke. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. Tobago is no longer on an emergency mode, declared Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, following the passing of Hurricane Beryl over Tobago. During a media briefing yesterday afternoon, Augustine noted that Tobago was not adversely affected by the hurricane as some of our neighboring countries. As such, all schools are scheduled to reopen today, with the exception of Ebenezer Methodist Primary, Light and Life Foundation High School, and all ECC primary and secondary schools in the electoral district of Palativere Lansomi Speyside until further notice. Additionally, all THA employees are expected to be at work today. Private businesses are also expected to resume full operations from today. The Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service continues to monitor an area of low pressure, AL96, near the central tropical Atlantic and east of the southern Windward Islands. The system has the potential to develop into tropical depression during the next few days. According to the TNT Met Office, at this time the system poses no direct threat to Trinidad and Tobago, although moderate to heavy showers, isolated thunderstorms, and accompanying gusty winds are in the initial outlook for midweek. Of course, we'll keep you abreast of the weather. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Bianna, for the news in 90 seconds. Bianna, how are you? How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty okay today. Really, pretty okay today. What about you?
I'm fine. I'm really fine. I think yesterday was a very eventful day for us both, but I'm thankful that we are here safe and we're able to, come on the morning show and do what we do best.
All right. As you were saying, it was very eventful for you. What was your experience yesterday, giving us coverage as to what was taking place on the outside?
Well, Bianna, that was my first time doing what I did yesterday. I didn't expect that I would have to been out in the rain, getting so much soak and wind, but it was a great experience. I'm thankful for everyone who kept me in their prayers. The entire team, we were able to do our work and come back safely. But Bianna, it was a really, really interesting experience for me. I'm thankful once again that the island of Tobago was spared, but I'm still feeling it for our neighboring islands. I'm seeing that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they would have really felt the brunt of Hurricane Beryl, so we really need to keep
as well as I believe Petit Martinique too. I saw some footage about it, and they seem to have had bit of an experience there as well.
Correct. But
Yes.
we're going to chat a bit more about that as we continue the show. All right, so we're going to head over now to the birthdays. So we're sending happy birthday up on our screen to Miss Natasha Roberts. Happy birthday to you, and I hope you enjoy your day today. And that was all for our birthdays today. Alright viewers, so we have an interesting and packed segment for you this morning. So I'm just going to give you the rundown. First, we'll be starting our conversations with Mr. Alan Stewart, the director of TEMA, as we get an update on Beryl, the aftermath. Next, we will be bringing on the Tobago Creative Tank. That's an initiative that probably was launched around last year, but we're going to chat a bit more about that also. And then we'll be joined by Julia Caesar, a resident of Barbados, as we discuss the effects of Beryl in Barbados. So stay tuned. We have an interesting show for you today, but just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
We love Tobago Carnival! Tobago is such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here, we're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful!
I love Tobago, baby! Coming back next year! Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best!
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real titans of soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning, great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Put a smile on your face when you you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates. Now, Hurricane Beryl, a powerful Category 4 storm, struck the island of Tobago yesterday. And here to give us an update this morning on the aftermath, we are joined by Mr. Alan Stewart, Director of TEMA. Mr. Stewart, a special morning to you.
Indeed, a special good morning to you as well, and all of Trinidad and Tobago, the wider Caribbean, across the world who have interest in Tobago.
All right, so Mr. Stewart, Hurricane Beryl would have brought extreme weather conditions to Tobago yesterday. Give us an update on how is it now for the island, because we noticed that probably on the western end we did not see as much damage as we would have seen more in the northern areas and even the countryside. So give us an update on the aftermath, please.
Following the passage of Beryl, we would have experienced to date at this time up to 0600 hours this morning, 150 reports. These reports impacted over 50 communities across the island of Tobago. So in some way we can say it was widespread, and that was expected based on the size of the system. The intensity was one that we prepared for the worst. I think that was the mantra of the Chief Secretary, that we ought to prepare for the worst. Given the fact that on the approach, when we went to tropical storm warning, we were braced in for a Category 4, which seek to point out that we are dealing with winds in excess of 130 miles per hour. And I recall when the approach as a Category 4, we were seeing winds looking to go up to 150 miles per hour. And you know, I wonder, but I conclude this morning that God has been good to us.
Correct.
And for persons like myself, it strengthened my faith in that there is a God, you know, because I remember being here and we were discussing issues about preparing Tobago for a catastrophic event. And it gave rise to the concept of making cities resilient. And something that we brought into our vision was always to see Tobago becoming a resilient island. These reports that we receive spread across a spectrum of varying categories. We want to thank God there were absolutely no casualties, there were no deaths, and we are very grateful for that. Another statement that I heard that is very interesting is that somebody said that this is not a year, it is a test. I heard the Chief Secretary said this Tobago is a dress rehearsal yesterday. And as we speak, we know that there is another system that is just to the east of us, and therefore one must prepare. We are very grateful that there were no reports of the destruction of structures, critical or significant damages to infrastructure. Damages to the airport, they were none reported. I just spoke to the Port Authority. I know that they are putting on special ceilings today to move the mass of persons that are on the island. One can see them piling up. So there should be about 3 ceilings leaving Tobago today. There are some areas that are still without electricity. And that's the reason why in this campaign we continue to ask persons, citizens, business places, that you prepare yourself for 72 hours. It means, therefore, that this type of event and the type of disruption that you would have had in the electricity service across the island, it's difficult to just turn on back the power where you may have disruption of lines in the ground. There are procedural steps to that, and therefore it's even equally important that citizens, not necessarily knowing all these factors, but taking the necessary instructions from those of us, which our role as TEMA is to coordinate a network of agencies. So we understand well what is happening. We are the go-between, the citizens, the various agencies, the responding agencies. Yesterday was very dicey in terms of the weather came a little later than we expected, and therefore that is a good thing. You know, as we saw what was coming to us, you know, we were very concerned that these winds. You know, I was reminded that, you know, I made a joke, a story about my grandmother saying, you know, that galvanized look like leaves. But when sometime by the time you recognize it's a galvanized is right on you, so you have to be careful. And that being happening in the night, we would have had a really, really different story here today. And it's important for us in Tobago to understand what really missed us as we go along. So we had about 40 roof incidents. We also had around 31 fallen trees, and we see trees becoming a major 31 of those. We recognize that trees, some of these trees fall in houses. Blocked road, we had 14 incidents of blocked roads. We had still one landslide, and I believe that you know, I still feel that today you may see here some slope failures as the amount of water that we have in the soil. There's a strong possibility that you may hear slope failures or collapsed structures that may have just given way under the amount of water. Marine incidents, we had 2 marine incidents, 2 of them reported in the port of Scarborough here. There were about 3 reports of that. Also, we had various assistance in terms of requests for persons just needing help. These challenges, we have our own challenges where we recognize that there are still areas without electricity. So 32 areas as of last evening was without electricity, and by now it has boiled down to 11. So I was able to give the guys from Tiantec a thumbs up this morning when I see just after 5 minutes to 6 this morning, they were heading deep north to restore electricity where there are some losses. So we are very, very grateful, and I think I'll pause there and allow you to so I can catch my breath.
All right, Mr. Stewart, so thank you for that very detailed update, and I appreciate the fact that you said the island was in fact spared, because when we look at the effects other islands have, such as Barbados, St. Vincent especially, you can see just the magnitude of damage that Tobago was spared. And you would have mentioned the system that is to the east of us that is approaching, I assume. Is this something that we should be concerned about?
Definitely. I think based on the trajectory of the disturbed weather system that we are seeing, we see winds are already up to 30 miles per hour. And therefore we have to keep our eyes on that system. It started a little lower. Tobago is located 11 degrees north of the equator. We saw that approaching just around between 8 degrees, 8 point something degrees north of the equator, around 30 something longitude, sorry, and therefore that is cause for concern. And therefore we have to pay. One of the things, as you look at the chart, to the northeast of Charlottesville, which received the strongest of the winds, one of the things that we can tell you emphatically is that the system passed just around 42 miles. The radius of it, or the center of it, passed just about 42 miles northeast of Charlottesville. However, it's from a very scientific point of view to understand why we were spared. The storm strength winds went out to, or should I say, the hurricane force winds went out to about what one can describe as 18 miles. With that being said, you will understand that the winds that we got away from did not extend itself to us. So you look at the distance, you look at the map right now, I normally tell people Tobago, it's shaped from the crown point right of the Charlottesville on a straight line, that's about 22 miles. Look at the distance. You multiply that by 2, you'll see it's around 40 something thereabout. And those are the little things behind the scenes that we use in order to calculate and to know exactly what the ferocity of the winds will be like. We pay attention to the radius of the winds, the extent to which the storm strength winds. Another factor is that the southern side of the storm is always the weaker side. We remember Hurricane Ivan when it impacted Grenada. We received tropical storm strength winds. It did cause some damage to the island of Tobago, and we recognize, so it's very clear that we were spared, and therefore scientifically we can see that moving to the north, that the Grenadines, I am so sorry to see what has happened to some of these islands to the north of this system. The Grenadines, even St. Vincent, that is just directly west of Barbados, they would have got some damages as well. And therefore, we recognize that our neighbors, our prayers are with them, and we hope that they're able to recover nicely. Right. Today, I want to talk about what is the steps. What happens after this?
Yeah, this forward.
Yeah. So what is happening is this. There are 150 persons out there that were affected one way or the other. Some indirectly. A majority of those persons we recognize have damages to their roofs. DENA teams are going to be out there. We have started yesterday attending to some of these reports. We, in the planning concept to this event, I want to thank our partners. I want to thank the ODPM. We had some conversation with General Smart. And in 2015, we ran an exercise in Speyside. Those years, he was at the Defense Force, head of the Defense Force, somewhere around there. And we were able to simulate something like what is happening. What happened over the weekend, where the island was decimated, and he had to bring forces to Tobago. One of the things we discover is the logistics challenges to move assets from Trinidad to Tobago. And when we had this conversation prior to the event itself, I told General Smart, I remind him of the exercise that was run. He brought it to Tobago. And I said, I would love to see you pre-position resources in Tobago. I told him what was important is human assets and mechanical assets. The mechanical asset, we understand, has to travel with the vessel. And this is the first sailing out of this is today. So you could understand if Tobago was impacted, the boats that were coming up today would have been bringing up assets. And that's the reason why we tell people to prepare for 72 hours. One of the things that we recognize is that he made good on that promise by sending soldiers almost immediately. So we had the soldiers.
That's good.
So you have seen the soldiers in the field yesterday and doing a lot. They will continue to do so this morning. Another champion thing that happened is the executive and the administrative arms of the THA came together and worked on this incident. We were able to do the procurement process right around a table, all players on deck. And that helped quite a lot. This morning, we are moving into the fields with materials to fix roof. Something we have not seen going back to the days of, is like happened in 2005, 2004, where we were able to move with materials to fix some of these roofs. So I just want to give the assurance to the public out there, those of you who have been affected, your roofs have been damaged, that assistance is coming your way, and exercise some patience. We cannot do everyone at the same time. And therefore, from where we sit at the disaster office, what we do, we coordinate things. We rank or put them in a taxonomy where we know definitely is like medium, severe, low categories, things like that. So we have that kind of a structure in the system. And if you may think your issue is something of great importance, no, it goes through a system and it's ranked in a particular way. And all of the urgent reports, those are what will be responded to first.
Understood, Mr. Stewart. So I want to thank you for joining us this morning.
Pleasure
and
is
giving
mine.
us that very detailed update on Hurricane Beryl. Hopefully, as the week continues, we can have more regular interviews with you as we are monitoring that system that is coming in the direction. So, Mr. Stewart, I want to thank you once again.
I want you to give me an opportunity to thank my staff. You know, they have been really, I saw what they have been going through. I have been with them for some time, and I've seen their faces, and you see, there's a light that you see in their faces that you know they on board with this thing. They embrace it. So I want to thank them very much for their help. The various sections, the logistics sections, they came out and they do a tremendous amount of work. The planning unit, the operations room, the communication folks, the ICT team, and even the benevolence of some stakeholders, such as QT Environment. They made Starlink available to us. You know, it's a big thing to have Starlink in operation like that, which means you're not without. You're not without telecommunications in any way from internet connectivity, and we want to thank those players and all of the various agencies, the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment, the Works Division, you know, who are still with us, and we're doing a lot during the cleanup. You see the CPEP, we'll be meeting with CPEP. We met with them late last night, and they are in the field already doing stuff. I see Scarborough, they're clearing because they're preparing for that next one that is coming here, and the IQU, the teams, they are working, the heads of the divisions are all working, that we ensure, and that is one of the positive things about Tobago, where you could bring these people together, in a small unit.
That's correct, Mr. Stewart.
Thank you very much.
All right, viewers, so that was Mr. Alan Stewart, Director of TEMA, giving us an update on Hurricane Beryl. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Sun Up Tobago is here. Join us on Saturday, July 6th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Deltec Compound Argyle for an unforgettable summer experience. Enjoy an all-inclusive experience with mouth-watering food, coolers are allowed, and best island vibe. This is a tickets-only event. Get your tickets now at Barco, Lus, and Pablo's Argyle. Don't miss out on the event of the summer. Sun Up Tobago, sponsored by Tobago Updates, B-Mobile, State Solutions, and Thorns Place.
Look at people in here tonight.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, a festival of dancing, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Dance in with DNA, our 11th edition, Saturday, July 6th at 5 p.m., Shore Park Cultural Complex. Featured in this year's lineup, Assemblyman Trevor James, Mrs. Petal Daniel Benoit, Mrs. Diane Baker Henry, Miss Davia Chambers, Miss Leslie Ann Ellis, and Miss Sinel Dempster. Limited early bird tickets. Adults $150. After party only $100. Children pay $75 at the door. You don't want to miss this one. Get your tickets early from Dance Ensemble class members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford 24 Gas Station Canaan, and the Shore Park Cultural Complex box office. For more information, contact Nikisha White at 772-9049 or Nelisa Dick 340-5758.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning. Good good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates. And if you observed the live shot, you would have seen that we are observing a lineup of people who would like to travel back to Trinidad on the boat. Now, while Tobago was spared the effects of Hurricane Beryl yesterday, or neighboring islands, they were not as lucky as we were. Now, to chat with us this morning about what happened in Barbados, we are bringing on a Mr. Julius Seeley. Mr. Seeley, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Good morning. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, great. So, we are seeing what's happening on social media. We are observing what's happening in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in Grenada, and even Barbados. Can you tell our viewers what are some of the effects Barbados is facing at the moment?
All right. Well, I live in southeast of Barbados, and we didn't really have much issues here in the southeast since we are on a sort of a higher level. But the photos and videos that I saw coming in our south coast seem to have had some damage around the Hastings side. I saw roads that had issues, a lot of some businesses, I think it was Savvy on the Bay, that was affected. A lot of their equipment came into the road. There is construction going on the south coast, so there was some issues there with scaffolding being blown down. The sand from the beach actually came into the road, so the Barbados Defense Force was actually clearing that yesterday evening. So it's not something that we're accustomed to seeing, even when we have things like this. Barbados, I don't think, even experienced a category 4, maybe even around this time, since 1966, as they were reporting. So it is something, I guess, I just say, lesson new to young people to be able to see and experience something like this here in Barbados, even where we had our boats, even in the Bridgetown area. A lot of them were damaged due to the passing of Beryl. So it is just now to be able to get around to see how other persons were affected. However, as far as we know so far, there has been no loss of life, and it is more so of our southern area of Barbados that is really affected.
Okay, Mr. Seeley, and for our viewers and listeners who are currently tuned in, do you think at this time Barbados may need international help to, clean up the effects of Hurricane Beryl? Is it your belief that Barbados may have to seek international assistance?
Well, I haven't seen much reports coming out of any major disasters here in Barbados to say that. No, I can't speak on behalf of Barbados, but based on what I've seen coming out, we haven't had reports coming from our government stating that we are in any crisis at this point in time. Barbados have a lot of very resilient people, and I believe that, as I said, as soon as we were given the all clear, the Barbados Defense Force was clearing roads, assisting people. Of course, the country will be doing a damage assessment to be able to see what would have happened here in Barbados, so that we can be able to get final reports to be able to say, well, we had these number of houses affected and so forth. But coming through social media, we haven't been hearing of any major issues that make warrant that. But I do believe that Barbados would have gotten the first, I guess, the effects of it. And as it moved across the Caribbean and grew stronger, other countries would have been greatly more impacted by it. When I saw what would have happened in Tobago, there are some similarities to what would have happened here. So I can't say that Barbados will need international assistance, but the government will be the ones who would have to determine that.
All right, Mr. Seeley. So wrapping up, I just want to say thank you for joining us here on Tobago Updates. I know it was a short interview, but we got the depiction of what happened in Barbados. Hopefully, as the week progresses, we can check in back to see what's happening on the island, just to have a more positive update. So I want to thank you once again for joining us here on Tobago Updates. Viewers, that was Julius Seeley from Barbados giving us an update on the effects of Hurricane Beryl on that island. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back again. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates. Now, as we continue our conversations, I know that you are all aware of that famous Shark Tank show that you usually see on television, where people will pitch their business ideas in the hope to get that necessary funding to execute it. And thankfully, we have that right here with a sprinkle of Tobago nuances. So we will be discussing the Tobago Creative Tank, which is a business pitch competition actually designed to provide participants with a strategic marketing platform to practice and showcase their business pitches. Now, this event aims at enhancing participants' business visibility and offering valuable feedback from an experienced panel of business professionals. We are joined here this morning by Miss Kathy O'Connor, the Recoveries Officer. Special morning to you, and how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. I'm excited to have you here because I always saw the videos of this competition online posted from the BDU page. So it's exciting that I'm here to finally have that conversation with you so you can find out more about the Tobago Creative Tank. Now, I gave a little introduction about what it is, but in your perspective, from your perspective, what is the Tobago Creative Tank?
Well, simply put, it allows participants to have that visibility. It allows them to practice their pitches, their business pitches, and allows maybe potential investors to buy into those businesses.
Okay, interesting. And when it comes to business pitching, it's not just limited to business owners. I think as young people, when we are trying to execute projects, we need to know how to pitch an idea. Sometimes the simplest thing of how you present your idea or your project, it really is a determining factor whether or not you will get that support that you need. What was the inspiration behind, equipping people with the necessary skills to pitch an idea?
Okay, so this year, our creative tank is a bit different. So we decided to target young entrepreneurs. And when I say young entrepreneurs, I'm talking about the ages between 15 to 25 years old. So what we hope to do is that we would want to foster a culture of youth entrepreneurship in Tobago. You know, a lot of times youths are made to believe that they have this 8 to 5 job or 9 to 5 job waiting on them. We do not want to do that. What we want to do is we want to allow them to become self-sufficient and also allow them to know that they could be entrepreneurs and successful ones at that.
Excellent. So give us a bit insight into last year's competition. I think I would have recognized some very prominent businesses such as All Things Tobago and JT Salt Light. Tell us a bit more about last year's competition.
So last year's competition was really exciting. The winners, what they would have done is that they have gone on to be more successful at their businesses and even reaching the point of being at career, which is the testing, product testing and all of that within their businesses. So they become more confident because of the competition and also by extension reaching international markets.
Yeah, that's amazing. And as you mentioned international markets, what are some of the sectors the TCT caters to?
So some of the sectors will be agriculture and that is inclusive of fishing. We also have the creatives, and the creative industries will be industries such as performing arts, visual arts, jewelry making, and the like. So those are the creatives. We also have food and beverage. We have technology and services.
Okay, and was there a specific reason why these sectors were chosen? Because they seem to be very, not only specific, but they are ones, they are sectors that are, I would like to say, popular. They are trending. They are sectors that we want to pay more attention to, especially youth in agriculture. Were these sectors chosen for a specific reason?
Mainly because we wanted to capture and showcase these youth-led sectors. Also, what it intends to do is that because of this, we want to aspire or direct these young ones to those sectors, those specific sectors. So that was the rationale behind it.
Lovely. I appreciate that. So let's get a bit visual now. Can you give our viewers and listeners just that breakdown of how the competition is going to roll out?
Okay. So what we do is that we would have offered participants the option of going to our Facebook page and uploading a 3-minute video. So the 3-minute video will let the public know about their businesses. So it's a 3-minute video. You upload the video, you fill out the Google form, and what we would do is that from that listing, we would choose 18 participants.
Okay, great.
Right? So from the 18 participants, then we would bring it down to 8 finalists that will be moving forward to the actual competition.
Okay, great. So the competition, is it going to be similar to what we see on Shark Tank? You know, it's kind of scary. You walk into this room, you see some of these prominent business owners, they're sitting here and they're listening to your business idea. Is it going to be somewhat mirrored like that?
It's similar. It's similar. They will be getting feedback, of course, from an experienced panel of business professionals. And it's similar, but it's nothing to be scared about. You know, we talk about youth, and we really want them to come out. We really want them to pitch their businesses, because a lot of times we hear about businesses, you know, someone might come in and say, "Oh, I love your outfit." And then when we ask, you know, who made this? And we say, well, this person did this. Where is he? You know, so the business is not visible. So this event allows persons and allows young entrepreneurs to really showcase their businesses.
Okay, that's great. Because when you think about young people, we are innovative, we are creative, we bring those fresh ideas and fresh perspectives. But oftentimes we feel like if we don't have the support or initiatives such as this one to really push our agenda and push us into the rooms that we should be in, we just sometimes give up. And when you think about pitching an idea, people think that when you have a business, you could just say, well, this is my business, fund me. But pitching an idea is more of a craft. You have to be very strategic with what you are saying. You have to be very intentional with what you are saying. You have to be very real and raw. You can't stand there and make up stories. So it's interesting that we have this competition to really hone our young entrepreneurs. So for people who would like to get more information about this TCT, how can they find you all?
Well, they can go onto our social media pages. It's Business Development Unit. You can type that in on your Facebook or Instagram pages. And the form is there. Everything is there. We want young persons to come out. We have also engaged organizations such as the JCI, which is the Junior Chamber International. We've also engaged the community-based groups, the NGOs, and also some school entrepreneurship clubs.
Nice.
So these are where the young persons are. And therefore, we have targeted these organizations so that we want the young persons to come out. We want to know about their businesses.
Okay, so and for the competition, is this just a first place type prize, or you have like first, second, third?
Good
What is it?
question. So what we have the most engaging, and that's $10,000.
Okay.
We have the most innovative, that's $15,000.
Okay.
We also have the People's Choice Award. So come out, young persons. We really want you out there. We want you to come there, cash and prizes. Apply, register. We really want to see the faces of our young entrepreneurs.
Okay, so it's still open as we
It's
speak.
still open.
Okay, great.
It's going to be closing off on the 12th of July. And of course, our business creative tank competition is on the 15th of August at the Shore Park Cultural Complex.
Okay, and sometimes, you know, when we are applying for these things, we need that extra assistance. Let's say a young person, they want to apply, but they probably need that little guidance with the application process. Can they just come in and you all can assist them?
They can feel free to come in. Our team is there to help. No need to fear, as I mentioned before. Come in, we will assist you. And go through the process with you.
And this is the Business Development Unit, right?
Yes.
So located...
We are on the second floor of the Victor E. Bruce Financial Complex. That's right next to the market. So come in and we'll be happy to assist those who may not really have the opportunity to apply online.
Okay, Miss Connor, so we're going to take a quick break and we'll come back just to wrap up the interview. We're going to chat a bit more. So viewers, stick with us. Very, very interesting segment. We're going to take a quick break. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And we are back talking all things Tobago Creative Tank, and I'm joined by Miss Kathy Connor. Now, Miss Connor, Giovanni Thomas would have won last year, and his business idea. Let's first talk about Tobago. When you think about Tobago or marine life and or waters, they are like or tourists, like they bring or tourism, they boost our tourism. And his business idea centered around that a bit. Tell us a bit more like what caught the attention of the judges to really, name him as the winner, because his business is doing extremely well. You see trending regularly on social media. His business captures Tobago's nuances. What was the thought process behind that when Giovanni came with his business idea?
It was because it was from a young person. It was fresh, and we really loved it. And I think it's because how he would have pitched it. It was really exciting. And if you go onto our Facebook page, you would see Giovanni giving us one of his testimonial about how exciting he was and how privileged he was to be part of the creative tank. So he took it and he ran with it, and he was successful.
Okay, that's excellent. And out of the 18, only 8 will be selected, and it makes me think about the other 10. Can we see in the future probably winners like Giovanni Thomas? He could probably come and advise and mentor the 10 finalists who weren't successful to reach on to the next phase, to give them the guidance that they need so that they don't feel discouraged, so that the next time you all have this cycle, they will be in the final 8. Can we see something like that happening in the future?
Most definitely. We've also had discussions about having programs so that those who do not make it to the finals would also be part of that program where they can be trained, they can learn more in entrepreneurship and further their businesses.
Okay, that's really great. That's really great. Because sometimes as young people, like I said earlier, we need the programs. We need these forums where we can get trainings. I think as young people, we have this raw talent. But when you come and you have these professionals who could say, okay, this is what I went through, this is how you should do it, so that if you want to achieve that success, we can help you. I think programs are very effective. I think programs are necessary so that we're not just subjected to this 1 week thing where that's going for, you can boom, you're gone. When we have that continued checking in, that continued training, I think it's a really great initiative. So, Ms. Connor, we are reaching the end of the interview. I want you to just, take this time out for anybody who would like to thank at this moment for bringing this initiative this far.
So, of course, we'd like to thank the Division of Communication and the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy, the Procurement Division as well, the Office of the Chief Sec, Communications, and, of course, the Business Development Unit team for putting on yet another event like this. This is our 4th edition, and we will be doing and reaching in the future, maybe Trinidad, because a lot of persons are calling in and wanting to know, well, why is this not offered to Trinidadians? One of the criterias is that you must be from Tobago, and you must be living in Tobago, a resident of Tobago, for more than 3 years. Another criteria as well is that you must not be a previous competitor. But a lot of persons from Trinidad have been calling and asking to be part of this event. So
nice.
Yes, so that is one of the things that we want to consider for our next edition, to include young entrepreneurs or persons from Trinidad.
And contact information, how can we reach out to you?
So the contact information, 639-4412, extension 53203 to 10. And please, I want to encourage young entrepreneurs. This is your opportunity. We want to see you. We want your businesses to be visible. So come out, go on the Facebook page, go on our Instagram page, fill out the registration form, apply, please. We want you. We do not want you to think, again, as I said before, that you have to be part of a private or public sector. You can be successful entrepreneurs, and we want to see you. You can be self-sufficient.
All right, that's amazing. So, Miss Connor, before we go, Facebook page, what's the name of the Facebook page? Because I know you have the divisions page and then you have the BDUs page. Can they go to both to get the information?
They can. They can just type in the Business Development Unit, and of course, it comes up and apply. You'll see our past winners as well, and persons really endorsing the Tobago Creative Tank.
Okay, great. So for those potential competitors, if you want that overview of what this competition is all about, you could visit their Facebook page, BDU. You'll start seeing testimonials. You just get an insight to what this competition is all about. And please do not feel discouraged. This competition just might be the determining factor to take you from the next level to the next. So I think that we're gonna wrap up now. So Miss Connor, it's always a pleasure when our guests are here to wrap up with us. So I want to thank you once again for joining us. Viewers, that was the Tobago Updates morning show here live from the Port Mall at Tobago. Just stay tuned on our pages. We have some interesting updates for you all. So just remember to share the live, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed partners and sponsors, and most importantly, our beloved communities, welcome to the Tobago Heritage Festival 2024. As we embark on the 37th year of this festival, our theme is We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. We are bringing back iconic events such as Yesterday's Children, Belmana Riots, and Courtship Codes. We want to highlight the importance of coming back to our roots, celebrating the people and the communities that make Tobago so special. Get ready for an unforgettable experience as we say, we come back to our true essence. We want to encourage each and every one of you to continue to support our cultural development and preservation in any way that you can. Your support is truly invaluable. Together, we can continue to make a positive impact that will be felt for generations to come. Thank you, and see you in July.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pride and excitement that I address you to officially launch the 2024 Tobago Heritage Festival. The Tobago Heritage Festival is not just an event, it is a journey back to our roots. This year's theme, We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. It captures the true essence of revitalizing the culture and traditions that have shaped our identity for generations. This year marks the 37th successful hosting of the festival, and we are proud to officially dub the month of July as Tobago Heritage Month, a time when our island comes alive with rhythms, flavors, and stories of our ancestors. The festival continues to offer an unparalleled opportunity for economic growth on the island. Every stakeholder, from local artisan and vendor to hospitality businesses and transportation services, stand to benefit. Our vibrant cultural displays will attract visitors, boost tourism, and provide a significant economic uplift to the island. The heart of this festival beats in our communities. We are empowering each village to manage its own productions to ensure authenticity and sustainability. The Tobago Festival Commissions Limited and the Tobago House of Assembly are here to support you. fostering an environment where our heritage can flourish sustainably. As we embark on this journey, let us celebrate the essence of Tobago. Let us honor our heritage and support our communities as we showcase the vibrant culture that makes our island unique. Thank you.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Carnival, we're right here, we're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, it's rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival. Pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real Titans of Soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning. Great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Every time, every single time.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. I am Chanel Felix, and whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Is no longer in emergency mode, declared Chief Secretary Farley Chavez Augustin following the passing of Hurricane Beryl over Tobago. During a media briefing yesterday afternoon, Augustin noted that Tobago was not as adversely affected by the hurricane as some of our neighboring countries. As such, all schools are scheduled to reopen today with the exception of Ebenezer Methodist Primary, Light and Life Foundation High School, and all ECCE primary and secondary schools in the electoral district of Palatuve, Lansformis Bayside, until further notice. Additionally, all THA employees are expected to be back out to work today, while private businesses are also expected to resume full operations from today. And finally, the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Services continue to monitor an area of low pressure, also near the central tropical Atlantic and the east of the southern Windward Islands. The system has the potential to develop into tropical depression during the next few days. According to the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office, at this time, the system poses no direct threat to Trinidad and Tobago, although moderate and heavy showers, isolated thunderstorms, and accompanying gusty winds are in the initial outlook of midweek. Of course, we will keep you abreast to this as it develops, and that was our news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. live more.
Innovative, dedicated, impactful. The public service now and beyond. Today we celebrate our stalwarts who have left an enduring legacy on the public service in Tobago. Mrs. Bernard Trim was a nursing assistant from 1969 to 1983. She was promoted to contact tracer at the STI HIV clinic and retired in 2019. Mrs. Bernard Trim says getting clients to come to the clinic for counseling and treatment is her greatest achievement. She says discrimination of HIV patients back then made it very difficult as sex was a taboo topic and HIV was considered a death sentence. She says she feels rewarded by the gratitude expressed from the clients she served.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are
Thank you and good morning again. Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Before we kick off this morning's conversations, I want to first say thank you to the entire team here at Tobago Updates that has worked tirelessly throughout this hurricane watch. I want to thank persons like Candice Jackson, Mr. Luke James Trim, Adana Kumbi, and the entire production staff and team here at Tobago Updates. The reason why you were updated is because they were here hard at work, so we want to just say thank you to them. And if you were abroad and staying abreast to everything that has been happening in Tobago online through Tobago Updates, go ahead and put your comments in the chat. Let them know. Thank you, Tobago Updates. Thank you, thank you. We here in the diaspora, we have been updated. We have been abreast with all that has been happening because of your hard work. So this morning we say a special thank you, especially to William Nana. Good morning, sir, and thank you for all the hard work that has been done throughout the weekend. Guys, this morning as we get into our conversation, we're talking about grow it yourself. And as we talk about growing it yourself this morning, I have the privilege of speaking in studio with Mr. Maxlon Roberts. Good morning, Mr. Roberts, and how are you?
Good morning, Ms. Felix. Good morning, Tobago, and the wider world. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for being here.
Right, and Mr. Roberts is the project lead officer at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. And when we're talking about Grow It Yourself, tell the people exactly what that initiative is.
All right, good morning again. So let me start with the genesis of the Grow It Yourself, or what we refer to as a GIY competition. The competition had its genesis originally coming under the Honorable Niagara Spidolly, now the Minister of Education. And what had happened, that had started in the height of the pandemic. And we know there was a change in ministerial posts and stuff like that. And it now falls under the remit of the Honorable Shamfa Kojo Lewis, Member for Parliament for Tobago West. So that started in 2019 in the height of the pandemic. And I want to commend the minister for continuing that program, because she saw the importance of it, because what it aims to do is treat with growing your own food, contributing to food security, contributing to eating healthy, but at the community level, at the home level. So it's a call from the community standpoint, from the community level, to get the persons at the home level to get involved in growing your own food. So it's a community and kitchen garden competition that encourages persons throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago to grow what you eat what you grow, which is our slogan. You know, all contributing to the overall picture of achieving or doing our part to food security, food safety, food sovereignty.
All right. And do you guys have any type of partnerships with the Division of Food Security here? Because I know they have the home gardening initiative within the division. So are you working with them to reach out to persons who are already a part of that home gardening initiative?
Well, it's open up nationally. We actually partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture. So the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries is on board doing a lot of the educational aspect of this stuff, because we know this competition isn't geared towards seasonal farmers, isn't geared to registered farmers. So the persons getting involved would need some level of training. So we've partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture to assist in the educational promotions, sharing all of the extension and training services to the registrants, and stuff like specifically to the Division of Food Security. We haven't had that conversation just yet, because as you said, we know that they have their home gardening is competition that's going, but we're hoping to, so that's why I'm actually here, to promote the Tobago aspect of it and encourage persons in the Tobago space to be on board and get involved. So it's really open for everyone to really chime in and be a part of the process.
Okay. So are you maybe planning to collaborate with them for the competition in terms, because they have I believe a registry of all the home gardeners here in Tobago. So I think that makes your job, especially when it comes to marketing, a lot easier.
So definitely,
when you can directly target the persons who already have a home garden.
Any collaboration that could allow us to get maximum reach with this program, it definitely is open and is encouraged to engage in those partnerships. So that's something I definitely look forward to. And as you said, it definitely would make my task a bit easier in getting all those persons to be a part of the competition this time around.
All right, tell us about some of the prizes that we can expect from this.
So what we have over $1 million in prize to be distributed, but it's obviously split across all the different categories. And the categories that we have, you have small, medium, large, aquaponics, hydroponics, and community-based groups. So those are the main 6 categories that anyone could enter for. And apart from those 6 main categories, you have special prizes, and you have about 9 special prizes that focuses on from best female garden, most innovative garden, the best youth garden, and a lot of other special prizes that persons whoever enter would be considered for. But you have to enter through one of the main competitions and then be given consideration for those special prizes. So it's distributed across groups that enter, because we want to encourage. That was a aspect of the program that wasn't there in the previous years. So the groups that enter can get over $30,000 in prizes. So we're encouraging community-based groups to enter. Whatever group you're a part of, you can enter and get some of those prizes. I think from the small category, we're looking at first prize being something like $8,000 and second, third, and so forth. So it's distributed across all of these areas, as I highlighted. So when you do it collectively, you see it's over $1 million in prizes to be won.
Okay, excellent. So explain to us, is it that you are looking for persons who already have a home garden to enter the competition, or are you now opening it up for people to start a home garden and enter the competition?
Yeah, it's actually opening up for persons to start. So if you already have your own home gardening going, that's good. But what we're doing, we're having a baseline, a benchmark that can allow everybody to start at the same time. So the registration is open for persons to enter and starting fresh, because we don't want somebody to have an advantage, because in terms of they would have started planting and they're probably ahead. So all the crops that are planted, and you have over 10, we're looking at 2 main groups of crops. So you have short-term crops that can be planted and medium-term crops. Once you enter the competition, you have to plant 3 from each of those categories that I just highlighted. And those are the crops that you'll be measured on, you'll be evaluated on in terms of the judging and all of that. So if you're accustomed doing your home gardening, we encourage you, but it's not going to be a situation where I already have a home garden and I'm already advancing the process and you enter as for that competition. you have to start with the base of planting the products that or the produce that we actually have on the list, and that is where it starts. So even it's looking for new persons as well as persons who are accustomed planting their own community garden.
Right. So what if I am a person who already has some of the things on the list in my garden? Am I supposed to cut them down and grow them over?
No, definitely not. But what and that's some persons actually ask that, but you have to be. We can't evaluate you on what, and we would know because you have a deadline. You have a deadline to upload, and a lot of the evaluation is going to be done through video uploads because we're aiming for over 200 and something participants. We're up to about 150 thus far, and we can't traverse throughout the island, the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago, visiting all. We'll definitely visit a few, but so we'll evaluate you based on uploads. So your first video upload is actually going to be when you just transplanted the seedlings. So if you do have growing stuff, no, that's fine, but you'll be evaluated based on what you would have planted, based on what we have, because there is a set amount or specificity in the crops that you have to grow. Right? So you won't be advantageous in terms of having established something already and be evaluated on that.
All right, and tell us what are some of the criteria for entry?
So there is no age limit. The only barrier to barrier is you can't be a registered farmer because it's not for professional farmers, or you can't be involved in the professional field of agriculture because it's for home gardeners, it's for persons who trying their hand. It's to encourage. So the persons who are professional, unfortunately, you won't be considered, and if you have your farmer's badge, you're not eligible to enter. That's the only limitations. So it's open for anyone.
So tell us, what is the registration process like?
So once you visit the Ministry of Community Development and Sports, and you go to the Facebook page, you would see the Grow It Yourself flyer there. You could actually go to the URL on it and click on it, and it carries you to the web page, the GII web page, where you register, you putting the information, and once you fill out that form, you automatically become registered, and after that you'll be added to a group that we communicate with all the registrants to keep them updated with what is happening. They can ask their questions and so forth. So just visit the Ministry of Sports and Community Development website, or visit their Facebook page, and you would see the flyer there. Just click on it and log in, send in the information, and you're in as part of the competition.
And what about those members of the society that may be less tech savvy or do not have as much access as others? How do we reach out to them?
So what we did when was it last week in Trinidad, we actually had a distribution, and we encouraged persons to come. So persons who came and wasn't able to do, we registered them online. We were aiming to do that in Tobago actually today, but our unfortunate situation yesterday just threw everything off and threw this, because this interview was actually carded for yesterday. So we were going to encourage persons to come out today, and we would have registered you online and all of that, but that got messed up. So in the interim, you would have to ask one of those persons who aren't tech savvy, ask your grandchild, or someone who is much more capable, but it's very simple and straightforward. If it allows us to be able to offer that aspect that we wanted to do before the registration period closes, we're definitely going to consider being available and accessible to allow for smooth and easy registration.
And where are you guys located in Tobago for persons who want to come in and get more information?
So you have to reach out to the Ministry of Sports and Community Development. You can call. We don't have a base in Tobago really, in terms of our office space, but once you call the ministry, you will get onto any one of the persons that can give you the information, and they'll guide you accordingly, because we have a whole communications department that treats with that. Outside of that, persons could reach out to me directly as the program lead, because I would have helped a lot of persons reach out to me, and I encourage them and guide them accordingly. So you could reach out to me at 723-2304, and any information you need, any query, if you want to get registered, I assist in that regard. I'm open to that because we're all trying to encourage persons to be a part of the program and be available to register.
Okay, excellent. And guys, you see it there, over $1 million in prizes. We have the small kitchen garden, medium kitchen garden, large kitchen gardens, and a number of other categories, right? So be sure to be a part of that. If you have a space in your yard and you're looking to do something with it, or, you know, this is a great motivation for you to actually get started.
Yes, let's see.
You know, that thing that you've been procrastinated on now, there's a monetary prize attached to you actually getting it done. You know, so many people are interested in actually growing their food. So let's do it. As the program says, grow it yourself. This is the Grow It Yourself Challenge. And again, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Roberts, for coming in this morning. He is the project lead again. The project lead officer at the Ministry of Sport and Community Development.
And the flyer I just saw, that is actually the older flyer because deadlines for registration closes on Friday the 5th because registration has been extended. So if you saw the 12th, that's the original date. It was extended to the 5th of
July.
This month of July. So
okay.
Take note of that, right?
All right. So you heard it here. So you have until the 5th of July to be a part of this amazing initiative by the Ministry of Sport and Community Development. And, you know, your minister is a Tobagonian. So most likely, you know, a lot of Tobagonians should come out and be a part and engage with this program. And again, I hope that there is some level of collaboration with the Division of Food Security, as they also have a similar initiative, and persons who are already highly interested and engaged with home gardening.
Transition quite comfortably into this program. And let me just throw this out there for those persons who are interested, who are hearing me this morning. If you register between today and tomorrow, and I will know because we have the website to see, you are encouraging you. I'm making myself available for you, because what today was really supposed to be, we were supposed to be actually downstairs outside the Port Mall doing quite a number, big hype on the program, giving out seedlings to persons who would have registered, giving out agro supplies to start agro supplies so that you get a good start. And because of what transpired yesterday, that got messed up. So I am here, I'm available. You can reach me at 723-2304. And persons who register between now and by 10 a.m. tomorrow, reach out to me and I will get onto you some starter seedlings, so that's free. And I'll actually get onto you some agro supplies to help you to start, to ensure, because this weather is a bit challenging to grow, as I'm a professional person myself. So we're giving you the best possible chance of succeeding. So just reach out to me once you've registered and I will ensure that you get those supplies, right? That's for those of you who register between now and by 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Now and 10 a.m. tomorrow. You heard it here, guys. And that's a commitment that has been given to us by Maxwell Roberts. So again, we want to thank you for joining us this morning, Mr. Roberts. And we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
Coconuts Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday, 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday, 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoke bone. Special $150 Super Sunday, 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Sun Up Tobago is here. Join us on Saturday, July 6th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Deltec Compound Argyle for an unforgettable summer experience. Enjoy an all-inclusive experience with mouth-watering food, coolers are allowed, and best island vibe. This is a tickets-only event. Get your tickets now at Barco, Lust, and Pablo's Argyle. Don't miss out on the event of the summer. Sun Up Tobago, sponsored by Tobago Updates, B-Mobile, State Solutions, and Thorns Place.
Look at people in here tonight.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. This morning we're going to continue our conversation by looking at what has been happening throughout the region for this Hurricane Beryl. But before we even get into those conversations, we want you guys to tell us how it has been for you. What has your experience been? What has happened in your area? Did you lose power? What was the experience like for you? Did you see any flooding in your area? So we're going to open the phone lines and allow you to call in and, you know, just express what you have experienced over this hurricane period. And if you have any friends or family in any other countries throughout the region that has been impacted, let us know so we know what has happened on the ground and what continues to happen throughout the region. The number is 284-6597. So you can call us this morning and stay in contact with us and let us know what has happened. Again, we want to thank Maxlan Roberts, who has just came on to the program and expressed that Grow It Yourself initiative. And this is a great opportunity for Tobagonians to be a part of this national initiative where up to $1 million in prizes is being given away for your own home garden. And I think that it's really imperative that Tobagonians take advantage of this opportunity. But when we talk about what has happened throughout the weekend from Sunday to Monday yesterday, a lot of us were at home, some persons were at shelters, but we just want to know what your experience was. If you want to share that, we have opened the phone lines for you to have that opportunity. Additionally, we are open to hearing from persons throughout the region in other countries. We know that Jamaica is preparing for the hurricane approaching that area. So we want to hear from you. If you are in Jamaica right now, what has that experience been like for you? So we want to give you guys that opportunity. But until then, this morning, we want to thank again the TEMA Tobago Update. And we have one of our guests that's going to be joining us very soon. So until then, do we have someone on the line?
Yes.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chena.
All right, where are you calling us from?
Canaan.
All right, tell us what that experience was like for you down on that side of the island.
Chena, well, to me, it was just like a rainy day. And even less than that because the rain was falling intermittently. And I would remember my youthful days in Flora. I was just going to the primary school at that time. And on that day, it was entirely a different experience. You were seeing birds flying from one direction to the other. And, the wind was stinging. But yesterday was a pretty ordinary day. But notwithstanding the ordinary I'm talking about, I am still grateful that God has given us that grace so that the damage that has happened in other places would not have happened here. It's not that I'm taking pride or happy in that other persons who have encountered the rough side of Beryl. But it's just that...
I totally agree with you, caller. We even saw in places like Milford Court, where there's usually a very low-lying area, and that tends to flood on a regular day. We didn't even see any flood happening there. So indeed, we can say that the prayers of our Chief Secretary worked, and God has really spared us compared to some of our neighbors up the islands.
Certainly. Thank you for allowing me the time to share.
No problem. Thank you so much for calling in. And you see our caller indicated that for him down in that area in Tobago West, Canaan area, it was just like any other rainy day. And I can slightly relate because I also live on that side of the island, and we did not even have a power outage, which we thank God for, because there are many places on the island where there were power outages. So we are grateful for that. Do we have any other callers on the line this morning? All right, so we're going to take a quick break right here, and we will give you the opportunity to call in and call back and chat with us right after this break. See you soon, guys.
Dance Ensemble Tobago presents our signature event, a festival of dancing, Tobago Dance Sport Championship and Dancing with the Caribbean Stars. Dance in with DNA, our 11th edition, Saturday, July 6th at 5 p.m. Shore Park Cultural Complex. Featured in this year's lineup, Assemblyman Trevor James, Mrs. Petal Daniel Benoit, Mrs. Diane Baker Henry, Miss Davia Chambers, Miss Leslie Ann Ellis, and Miss Sinel Dempster. Limited early bird tickets. Adults $150. After party only $100. Children pay $75 at the door. You don't want to miss this one. Get your tickets early from Dance Ensemble class members, D&D Jewelers at Tobago United Cooperative, Milford 24 Gas Station Canaan, and the Shore Park Cultural Complex box office. For more information, contact Nikisha White at 772-9049 or Nelisa Dick 340-5758.
The countdown is on to the Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex to discover the dynamic world of public service where innovation meets dedication. Explore exciting careers, experience innovative services, enjoy interactive displays, and a whole lot more. Come join us on July 5th at the Shore Park Complex from 9:30 a.m. Visit the office of the Chief Secretary's Facebook page for details. Tobago Public Service Day Expo 2024. Public service now and beyond.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Innovative, dedicated, impactful. The public service now and beyond. Today we celebrate our stalwarts who have left an enduring legacy on the public service in Tobago. Mrs. Bernard Trim was a nursing assistant from 1969 to 1983. She was promoted to contact tracer at the STI HIV clinic and retired in 2019. Mrs. Bernard Trim says getting clients to come to the clinic for counseling and treatment is her greatest achievement. She says discrimination of HIV patients back then made it very difficult as sex was a taboo topic and HIV was considered a death sentence. She says she feels rewarded by the gratitude expressed from the clients she served.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens just come down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road is a miracle.
Good morning. And if you're seeing that line of traffic outside and wondering what is happening in Scarborough, that's a line of persons trying to get back down to Trinidad after a long weekend in Tobago, one that many persons did not predict would have been a hurricane weekend. But we had some of our team outside, as I would have indicated earlier, sending special thank you to the team that worked tirelessly throughout the hurricane. And one of those individuals that worked tirelessly on the ground with our camera crew was Mr. Luke James Trim. And we want to thank him, and because I have him in studio this morning, fortunately, I get to talk to the star himself this morning. The man that was on the ground, you know, he was giving us CNN quality coverage yesterday. And even for the persons who were not in Tobago, I know for a fact that they had that experience, even though they were not here. Was this your first time covering a hurricane or any events of that nature? And what was that experience like for you, especially being very young in the media space?
Chanel, it definitely was my first time covering a hurricane. You know, in your mind, like you said, I actually grew up watching CNN. So when I was put in that situation, I was like, okay, Luke, how do you translate the message best to the public? Because when you're there in person, how it translates on camera is two different things. So when the winds were blowing and I'm just standing there, you wouldn't see the effect. So I said, you know, guys, give me an umbrella. So I held the umbrella so people could see how windy it was. Then I started, you know, from the jacket so they could see how rainy it was, and just reporting and letting them see what we were seeing. I think it was a really interesting experience. It was something new for me. You know, I'm thankful that everyone, you know, kept me in their prayers and the entire team to ensure that we were safe throughout it all. But Chanel, it was a bit, I think the adrenaline was running through my veins. Just being there, seeing everything happening, you know, going to the fallen trees, you know, standing in the middle of the wind and you reported and the wind trying to pull you away, but you have to stand there firm. I think it was a unforgettable experience, I should say.
Right, because I was really praying for you that you would hold on to, you know, one of those trees up there at the fort, because the way that wind was blowing,
wind was
right?
extremely strong up there.
Yeah, we really wanted to make sure that we preserve you because we need you here at Tobago Updates. But in comparison to what we have seen happen throughout the region, Tobago has been extremely lucky.
Correct.
And we have to, you know, give thanks to the Most High for protecting us and keeping us, because we see a caller called in earlier and he would have indicated that for him it was just a regular day of rain, but for some persons they would have had to shelter in place at some of the shelters. Some persons they lost power, some persons no water, because with the water issues that we face here in Tobago, once there is no power, for a lot of persons who use pumps there is no water, which is totally unfortunate. So some persons were hit a bit more, you know, it was more severe for some persons than others, and we see some shots of you there down at Crumb Point, right outside of Cocoa Reef.
And you know, that shot was interesting, because as you know, a lot of Trinidadians are here. They attended Island Crashers, so a lot of them weren't familiar with the area. So when we were there, we were seeing cars, you know, outside hydraulics and watch, as you can see, doing all type of interesting stuff. And they were like, it's a flooding. So we had explained to them, no, it usually happens. We have a pump in place. The water will subside, but not now. So then we decided to know, let's do a shot here to let them know, because we know they were tuning into Tobago Updates. Let them know that is the condition of the road here, just to be extremely careful when you're driving there, because while it is something that we are accustomed to, it's something new for them. So Chanel, I'm really grateful that, you know, Tobago was spared, because it was scary. As much as you see me out there reporting, it was a scary experience. Every minute I'm calling my mommy. I was like, Mom, are you okay? It still has electricity in the house. Everything is fine. Every minute I was calling her home to make sure that everything is okay. But when I look at my friends in the other islands, such as St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadine, Chanel, they were not as lucky as we are. Even my friends in Grenada, it's really scary that we have to go through this as a Caribbean region, especially where climate change is concerned. You know, we contribute the least, and yet we are going through the worst, Chanel. And I'm really hoping that everyone stays safe out there. I really hope that my friends in the other regions, that you all hold strong. You all are in our prayers, and in all, Chanel, it is a bittersweet moment for the Caribbean region.
Exactly. And even as we saw that line of traffic outside in the live shot of downtown Scarborough, Tobago, that is the reflection of a number of persons who were stranded over the weekend, who could not have traveled yesterday because they were scheduled to go back to Trinidad yesterday or Sunday, and they are now trying to leave. And the amount of cars we're seeing, I am wondering how everyone is going to fit on that boat. So you were down there at the port, kind of investigating the situation and how it has been developing. Tell us a bit about what is going on down there at the port in Scarborough.
Well, firstly, most of the Trinidadians, they're excited to go home, one. Two, you know, they would have raised concerns about, you know, how the port would have handled the dissemination of the information with cancelling the sailings. But I explained to them, well, you know, we were under a hurricane watch and it would not have been wise for anybody to travel on that seas yesterday. So what I came to understand is that boats are coming, one left at 8, another at 9, another at 11, so they will dock very soon in Scarborough, and these people would be able to return to Trinidad, or those who just travel into Trinidad for personal reasons. So that is the current situation there. I know the line is stretching as far back as the maritime building, so we have a lot of people who will be utilizing the port service to travel to Trinidad.
Right, and did you hear anything about the persons who were given housing or assistance when the Chief Secretary made that announcement that we were going to be assisting persons that were stranded? Maybe a couple of those persons are now trying to go back to Trinidad. Did you hear anything about that?
Well, we haven't communicated with anybody who were given that type of assistance. I know thus far from you chatting, most people, they probably just extended their stay, but for those who were unlucky, we're thankful that the Chief Secretary helped them out, because that little help goes a long way, especially, you know, as a young person, when you go fit and you spend out all your money, you don't have no money for accommodation afterwards. So it's really good that Tobago was able to offer that level of assistance. You know, the whole idea, especially with the Tobagonian Trinidadian culture, they have this idea that Tobago can't help anyone. No, Tobago can't stand on its own. So it's good that we're able to show the resilience. We're able to show the independence the island has despite everything. So I'm happy that everyone was safe. Everyone still had a amazing Tobago experience despite the hurricane that came. And Chanel, we really need to thank God for his blessings.
Right. And I'm thinking that the Chief Secretary and the current administration really showed a certain level of resilience in how they handled this entire hurricane, and just simply with that extension of housing for persons who were stranded over the weekend. I was personally impressed by that, because that's something that you don't really see a lot happening. And so I was glad that they
short notice too.
Correct, exactly. They thought about it and they put things in place to make sure that persons, you know, had somewhere to stay.
And also, Chanel, yesterday while we were there reporting, I was personally impressed by Secretary for Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, Mr. Joel Sampson. He was the active, he was the on the ground. I remember we went to a shelter and they were like, oh, well, the secretary just passed to make sure everything is okay. And we're like, oh, wow, in these conditions, he's out there ensuring that these shelters had the necessary equipment and resources it needs to accommodate people. Chatting with the people at the shelters, they were very much comfortable. So I think the administration did a great job in ensuring that these places were habitable for persons who needed it, Chanel. We saw one affected family, a family about 5, their house flooded out, and they didn't know how to get to the shelter. So we were able to assist and send back information to the people at the shelter, and they got there safely. Some really small kids, they were really scared. They gave us a recount of how the experience was for them, because where they are living is not really equipped to withstand a hurricane. So they were really grateful that we were able to assist them to get to the shelter. And Chanel, like I said before, the bright side of it is that no lives were lost. Despite some people, you know, may have lost their roof and so on. I know that TEMA and the team that are going out today to ensure that those people get the assistance that they need to fix their roofing. So I think all in all, God might have some Tobagonian influence in his blood.
Right. And we have to find out exactly which division persons should turn to as they seek assistance with whatever home repairs that may come as a result of the hurricane. Now, we know that the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development usually handles house and home repairs. However, in a situation like this, we're not sure if that comes out from the Office of the Chief Secretary or where that financing would come from to assist persons at an individual level with those repairs. But, you know, we want to be able to let people know or direct them to where they can go to get that type of assistance. But we know that the Division of Settlements has these programs, these house repair programs already built in. So this is an opportunity for you if you have experienced severe damage to your home and you are financially unable to cover those expenses, especially the fact that they are unforeseen expenses, that you should reach out to the Division of Settlements and find out what is being put in place to assist during this time. So again, Luke, I want to thank you for coming on with me this morning and sharing your experience. It's just unfortunate that we could not have gotten our guests throughout the region who were going to come and give us their experience from St. Lucia as well as Grenada, hearing a bit more about what is happening up there. But this morning we are still thankful for you staying tuned with us. We want to thank members of the diaspora who, you know, sent their prayers and tuned into Tobago updates throughout this whole debacle. And again, you know, I want to thank you for the great work that you have been doing here at Tobago Updates. I know that you're on vacation from school.
Yes, I am.
Right? and you're in the field, right?
Yes,
so I mean, that is great, and I hope that everything that you have been doing is just the foundation for, you know, great things for you.
Thank you very much,
so we want to thank you so much, Luke. Guys, we want to thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting, and doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster on the island of Tobago. As you see, that's what's happening in downtown Scarborough with that traffic that's backed up a bit. I think it goes straight down to the Maritime Building, as you indicated, and it's probably even further now as we speak, because while I was on my way here, as soon as you get around the corner at the Coast Guard base, you're able to see that something is happening, which is quite unusual, the traffic for this time of morning. But if you are coming into Scarborough, just be aware of that. And if you are trying to get down to Trinidad, as Luke indicated, there are sailings that have been put on to accommodate it. So don't see that line and get scared and think, oh my God, I'm not going back to Trinidad this morning, or I'm not getting to go, because they have put things in place to assist. So you would be able to leave this morning. As he indicated, there's a sailing at 9 as well as one at 11. So be aware of this. So again, guys, we want to thank you and have a great day.
Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.